There's a reason history repeats itself, and it has nothing to do with bad leaders, corruption, or bad luck. This is a cycle. Over the last 500 years, this cycle has wiped out every global superpower that followed it, with remarkable consistency. Spain followed this cycle, Britain followed this cycle, the Soviet Union followed this cycle, and right now, in 2025, the United States is following this cycle step by step, not metaphorically, not philosophically, mathematically. The same decisions in the same order, with the same results. In 1590, Spain was the richest empire the world had ever seen. It controlled half of the world's gold and silver. Its armies dominated Europe. Its currency was accepted everywhere. They believed wealth meant permanence. 80 years later, Spain was bankrupt, reduced to a second-rate power that would never recover. In 1914, Britain ruled the largest empire in human history. The sun never set on British territory. The pound sterling was the global reserve currency. London was the financial center of the world. 40 years later, the empire was gone. Its currency had collapsed. Britain had become the junior partner of the country that replaced it. In 1991, the Soviet Union had nuclear weapons, satellites in orbit, and military control over half of Europe. 900 days later, it no longer existed. There was no invasion. There was no final war. There was only economic collapse. 3 empires, 3 collapses, the exact same sequence. And the part no one wants to confront is this. The United States has already completed 5 of the 7 stages. We are not approaching the cycle. We are in the middle of it. To understand what comes next, you must first understand what imperial collapse actually looks like, not in textbooks, but in real life. Empires do not collapse when their armies are defeated. They collapse when the cost of maintaining power exceeds what the system itself can sustain. Collapse begins with economic exhaustion. The empire stretches beyond its resources. More bases, more wars, more guarantees, more promises. At first nothing seems wrong. Money still works. The army still wins wars. The government still speaks with confidence. But underneath, the foundation is cracking. Resources are misallocated. Productive sectors shrink. Debt replaces growth. And the most talented people quietly leave. Then acceleration begins. Allies start taking precautions. Trade partners look for alternatives. Enemies test the boundaries. And the advantages that once made the empire strong quietly turn into weaknesses. This is not theory. This is exactly what happens every time. Now let's go back to where this blueprint was first written. Spain. The 1500s. After the discovery of the Americas, Spain became the first true global empire. By 1600, Spanish ships were carrying more than 400 tons of silver every year. Spain controlled Europe's monetary flows. The Spanish real was the world's reserve currency, and the cycle always begins here. Stage 1. Military overexpansion. Spain was fighting wars on 4 continents at the same time, against the Ottomans, against France, against England, against revolts in the Netherlands. Half of the empire's revenue went to war, and even that wasn't enough. Stage 2. Currency debasement. To finance the empire, Spain mixed copper into its silver coins. The nominal value stayed the same. The real value collapsed. Inflation exploded. Trust evaporated. Stage 3. The debt spiral. Spain borrowed endlessly from European bankers. It defaulted in 1557, again in 1560, again in 1575, again in 1596. 4 defaults in 40 years. Stage 4. Loss of productive capacity. Why produce when you can import? Why innovate when gold arrives by ship? Spain stopped creating wealth. Silver flowed in, and immediately flowed out. When the silver slowed, the empire died. Stage 5. Social decay. Crime rates surged. Productive citizens left the country. The economy hollowed out. By 1700, Spain still looked large on maps, but economically it was finished. Fast forward 3 centuries. Britain followed the same steps: military overreach, debt from world wars, currency collapse, loss of empire. The pound fell from global reserve currency to a regional one. Then came the Soviet Union. Military spending drained the economy. Innovation died. The currency became meaningless. The empire unraveled. From superpower to disappearance in 900 days. Now look at the United States. Stage 1. Military overexpansion. More than 750 bases worldwide. Troops in 150 countries. An annual defense budget of $850 billion. More than the next 10 countries combined. And it still isn't enough. Stage 2. Currency debasement. Since being detached from gold in 1971, the dollar has lost more than 98% of its purchasing power. Since 2020 alone, trillions have been created out of nothing. Different method, same result. Stage 3. The debt spiral. $36 trillion in debt. Annual interest costs approaching $1 trillion. Borrowing new money to pay interest on old debt. This is not sustainability. This is mathematics. Stage 4. Loss of productive capacity. America consumes, America finances, America imports. It no longer produces at scale. Stage 5. Social decay. No trust. Broken institutions. Total political paralysis. These are not opinions. These are indicators. We are at 5 stages. Stage 6 is the loss of reserve currency status. Stage 7 is collapse. History shows this does not happen slowly. It happens suddenly. Spain lived it. Britain lived it. The Soviet Union lived it. Every empire believes it is different, until mathematics proves otherwise. The cycle does not care about exceptionalism. It does not care about confidence. It does not care about belief. The only question left is timing. And when collapse arrives, it doesn't feel slow, it feels sudden. If this changed the way you see the world, subscribe. Because when history moves from stage 5 to stage 6, understanding the cycle will no longer be a choice. It will be a matter of survival.